individual wanted on several felony warrants across multiple states. What they didn't know is that the day would end in tragedy. Their suspect, Mario Donnell Page, was wanted by a drug task force originating out of Memphis, Tennessee.
We had been trying to catch Mario for several months. He's fled from us several months. I had a snitch call me, or a CI, however you choose to put that, call me and tell me Sunday that she had him trying to come and pick up money from her.
He buys stolen cars. Okay. The girl said, hey, I got $3,000. Can you get me a decent car? You know, it was a setup.
Right.
All of the charges on Mr. Page are he will come to try to sell you his car. He just hits you in the head, takes your money, and flees.
While local officers and bail bondsmen waited for Mario to arrive on scene, they called for the Arkansas State Police to assist, as Mario was considered a flight risk. 2 officers were en route.
He pulled up on us. We tried to get him out of the car. He rolled down the window. The minute he saw me, and I took my hood off, you know, I have a hoodie on. I took my hood down and had my credentials hanging on my chest. He sped off and went past your trooper and a detective.
Okay.
Mario Page almost hit the trooper when he shot out because he never let off the gas. Spun around, went code 3, and took off after him.
Okay.
We're trying to catch up to him. He is running excessive speeds. They're on Mount City, running south towards the interstate. I'm unsure. I'm with a DPF guy, just me and him. Still south on Mound City, headed towards West Memphis. Just left Marion city limits. It's a white Chevy Impala with tinted windows. It's a Tennessee paper tip tag.
I'm coming off Davis Street here and get on board.
Coming up to the railroad tracks on Mount City South. Or City. I'm trying to catch up to him. He's a little ways ahead of me. We're probably about to get on the interstate. That truck. I had to stop for a truck I didn't think was going to stop. He's got further ahead of me. He's about to get on eastbound on the interstate up 281.
They're down.
TVI wrecked out 284.
CVR 44.
283 now.
There's multiple units on scene.
We doing felony takedown. We're not getting a response right now. Not response.
10-4, West Memphis has first responders in the EMS tent.
According to police reports, trailing officers pulled over and quickly ordered Mario at gunpoint to leave the vehicle. After they continually received no response, officers approached. The secondary officer details this scene in a post-incident interview.
Came along the driver's side of the car because it was resting on its roof. Was able to bust the driver's side rear window. Of course, it had the side curtain airbag, at which time I took a knife to cut the airbag so that we could see into the vehicle, at which time I found a black male. Lower half of his body was in the front driver's seat, in between the passenger and driver's seat, with his upper torso in the back. His arms were crossed, his chest wasn't responsive, kind of gasping for air. Eyes were not open. It was just like in my 30 years, I call it a death rattle.
Okay.
It's that last gasp breath. This time EMS arrived. He actually went in the vehicle, and I believe he was the one that checked to see if he had a pulse and all that. And he advised he did not have a pulse.
Paramedic advised he don't have a pulse.
Mario was pronounced dead at the scene shortly after by emergency medical services. Outside of the vehicle rolling numerous times, it is likely that he was not wearing his seatbelt based on his placement, lowering his chances of survival even more. An investigation was opened to determine if any wrongdoing resulted in Mario's passing. According to news sources, this investigation placed Trooper Garrett James Byrd on paid administrative leave until the investigation was resolved. In a press release by the department, they attributed the cause of the crash to Mario hitting the brakes at 140 miles per hour prior to Trooper Byrd's pit or TVI maneuver attempt. Using dashcam and Google Earth references, we found their speed estimation to be fairly accurate. We calculated that the officer's average speed 5 seconds prior to the collision was 136 miles per hour. Typically, pit or TVI maneuvers at these speeds are limited to deadly force situations at many agencies across the United States. One example policy from the state of Minnesota discourages pit maneuvers at over 40 miles per hour, and in certain situations, at over 25 miles per hour. However, the Arkansas State Police are a rare agency that allows pit maneuvers for most pursuits, as their policy doesn't list any speed recommendations for them, nor does it correlate speed as a prerequisite for use of deadly force in these maneuvers. In the pursuit report submitted by Trooper Byrd, it lists there were no methods of forcible stops utilized, and that the primary reason the pursuit ended was due to Mario hitting the guardrail. Trooper Byrd shared what he recalled during an investigative interview.
All right, it's Friday, December 22nd, 2023, and I'm at the Crittenden County Sheriff's Office Dispatch Center with Trooper James Byrd and his attorney, Russell Wood.
I went back in over towards the left lane, which he was still in, to attempt to perform a tactical vehicle intervention or TVI, and I don't know if he anticipated what was coming and was just trying to get me off of him, or he was intentionally trying to wreck me. But the suspect slammed on the brakes, and it's like when he did, the vehicle veered right, and I was still kind of right there beside him. It collected me, and it caused a collision. We both veered right, made sure that we had fire and EMS en route to assist the suspect. They informed me that they weren't getting any response out of him. There was plenty of help there, waiting on fire and EMS, and I went to check on the truck driver.
After the incident, various news organizations obtained this highway camera footage pertaining to the crash and criticized the police department's telling of the events, indicating that the crash was caused by a TVI attempt and not by Mario hitting the brakes. However, in the dash cam footage we obtained, it does appear that Mario brakes just before the collision. According to news sources, if this crash is ruled as a result of a TVI, Mario's death would be the fourth Arkansas TVI fatality of that year. As the public debates demonstrates the safety and effectiveness surrounding TVIs, Arkansas State Police Director Colonel Mike Hagar shared his reasons on their use. We're not gonna just hope that they're not gonna hit someone, that they're not gonna kill your family, that they're not gonna kill my family. We've seen that happen, unfortunately. This is not theory. We know what's gonna happen the longer we let that go on. So the reason we believe it is the best tactic is because it's the most immediate tactic to bring that pursuit to a conclusion. We don't want anyone to be killed, but at the end of the day, we are always going to maintain that clear priority of life, which is the innocent public, then the law enforcement, then the suspects. 2 weeks after the incident, the investigative report indicates officials received a letter from the state prosecuting attorney, Sonia Haygood of the 2nd Judicial District. The letter stated no charges would be pursued against Trooper Byrd and gave authority to close the use of force review as justified. Specifically